Hello everyone, we're going to do a little night shooting. I'm going to be shooting a Romanian AK-47 and the Davidson Defense AR-47 side by side. We're going to be paying attention to both the noise and the muzzle flash. We're going to go AK-47 first, okay? Romanian AK-47. Okay, now I'm going to go with the Davidson Defense AR-47. Give you guys a look at the two guns that we shot, okay? So both 16-inch barrels. Main difference to me as a shooter, first of all, loading the magazines, the AR style magazine, a lot easier to load. And you know, with the AK guns, I mean, if you look at the Russians, I mean, how do their pistols load, right? They pretty much slip in through a magazine weld, okay, rather than lock in. So that's a big thing with ARs. They are a lot easier to load, especially in the dark when you can't see. As far as the sound, I didn't think there was that big of a difference with the sound. I mean, I am wearing earmuffs instead of earplugs, so that might change it. But the felt recoil on the AK was a little bit more, and I think more of it is more of a face slap. Just the gun seems to slap me in the face. Now I do have an M4 stock, collapsible stock on it. It might be that AKs were intended to be used with heavy wooden stocks, but the AKs, AK-47s, they tend to slap me in the face regardless how how I position the gun. Like you got 4 points of contact, right? Your two hands, your chest, and your face on the gun. I definitely feel a face slap with the AK-47. Absolutely nothing with the AR-47. So the AR-47 is definitely a lot easier to shoot, especially if I'm shooting like bench to prone and trying to get precise shots at distance. That face slapping of the AK-47 can get really annoying. But the biggest difference is the ability to just easily put a magnifier behind that red dot. There's no way I can put a magnifier behind the red dot on the AK-47. And I've discussed this in other videos where I've tried using the side mount with like an LPVO. It sits too high, it flexes too much. If you push down on it, it moves. AK-47 receivers flex when they shoot, so the side mounts, right? What's going to happen is that if you no matter how, because this is pretty solid, but still with enough shooting and enough flexing, it's gonna lose zero. I mean, I think it's impossible for the amount of flexing that an AK does for a scope mounted on a side mount, for it to hold zero over like hundreds of rounds. Especially if you're trying to get like one MOA groups, okay? Getting one MOA groups, even with a steel case on the AR-47, I mean, I've hit it a bunch of times, 1.5 inches, very regularly. The 1-inch group, I got to work at it. Usually I get 4 out of 5 shots. I have hit 5 out of 5 shots for one MOA. Okay, so, but anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what the muzzle flash looks like on these two guns. I had a chance to watch the video with the muzzle flash, and I mean, there wasn't that big of a difference in the muzzle flash or the sound. I think the muzzle flash on the AK was like a tiny bit bigger near the muzzle. I didn't see any bullet streaks or anything like that. With the AR-47, on the first shot that I fired, there seemed to be like that first bullet seemed to have streaked. Now that might have something to do with the ammunition, because none of the other shots after that left like a bullet streak or tracer behind it. And the flash on the rest of the shots was pretty, like, there was hardly anything there. So no major difference in my opinion. Let me know if you guys think differently. The thing that made the biggest difference in the night shooting was loading the magazines, okay? Because when I went to load the AK magazine, I did slip a couple of times doing it in the dark, and I do have lots of experience loading AK magazines over many years, and still doing it in the dark without the ability to see. Yeah, I slipped. The AR magazine went in very easy, and I did it a bunch of times just to test it, and yeah, it went in really easy. That's the main difference.